In the headlines, scramble for National Assembly leadership position gathers momentum as minority caucus meets. Police seal Plateau State House of Assembly complex as crisis deepens. Federal government declares Friday, Monday public holidays for Easter celebrations. And on the international scene, Zimbabwe to investigate gold smuggling after Al Jazeera expose. Hello and welcome to Trust News Updates. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. And now the news in detail. The race for the speakership of the 10th National Assembly may be beyond the control of political parties as contenders for the post employ different strategies beyond zoning to realize the ambition. Trustee Shafiu Suleiman examines the current standing of political parties in terms of the numbers and how key contenders are scheming to grab the leadership of the House of Representatives. The report.
Of the ruling Unlike the 9th Assembly, which was dominated by members of the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) and the opposition People's Democratic Party (PDP, various political parties have won election into the lower legislative chamber, making the ruling party to maintain a slight majority. The ruling APC gets 162 seats in the House of Representatives, while the PDP secures 102 seats, with Labour Party trailing behind with 34 seats. NMPP gets 18 seats, followed by ABGA with 4. SDP and ADC get 2 each.
But don't forget again, we have to consider what you call zoning. And because now Nigeria has to, we want to bring everybody together. And the zoning is going to come into play as well. Now, as a party member, we're still waiting for the direction of the party on zoning. So if any zoning of the leadership comes out, I think we'll be able to follow it to the letter.
The interest of Mr. President, because there is no way any sitting president will ignore who preside over his parliament. Number 3, relationship between the aspirant and members, the level of trust and confidence the members will have on the aspirants. Let me tell you what people don't understand. In the parliament, everybody is being studied. Your relationship in the past, how do you relate with the members?
The current Deputy Speaker Ahmed Wase, Aliyu Betara, Tunjio Lawi and Benjamin Kalu have so far joined the contest.
Federal House of Representatives is House of the People, 360 members for their different federal constituencies. So we need someone, the leadership in someone who's going to bring everybody together, notwithstanding the religion, notwithstanding the ethnicity. So we need somebody, a leader in somebody who's going to drive cohesion.
It's not about the numbers of years spent in the National Assembly. It is the number of activists. The role you play, one, on the floor, the role you play as committee chairman, and the role you play even during other legislative activities.
A careful consideration of the numbers put the APC, with already half of the elected House of Representatives members, in an advantaged position. However, a strong alliance of the remaining political parties who constitute the second half could also undermine the ruling party's chances of clinching the seat. Contenders for the speakership position are reaching out to stakeholders and the power brokers, seeking endorsements and assurances, but who picks the gavel remain to be seen. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Similarly, the House of Representatives Minority Caucus has met to forge a common cause as the battle for who leads the 10th Assembly gathers momentum. The meeting is at the instance of the old members of the opposition parties led by the People's Democratic Party. The report.
The race for the leadership of the 10th National Assembly, particularly the Green Chamber, may have just started, with the opposition rallying support for the newly elected House of Representatives members across 7 political parties under the auspices of the Minority Caucus. The meeting led by Frederick Agbegi is to call on members-elect to forge a strong opposition that will put the ruling party on their toes.
Not only to represent our people, but see Nigeria as one constituency where our contributions should make life meaningful to all. This session is to enable us to network interact and familiarize ourselves as people that the results of 2023 general election has thrown up as a new face, having numbers that gives us greater strength to deepen opposition politics and democracy.
Take two. In their response, representatives of the 7 opposition parties pledge commitment and cooperation among their political parties, irrespective of the security or the ratio of the alliance.
I believe that we are all minorities coming together for common purpose to stand firm for overall benefit of us, irrespective of seniority, considering also the ratio in alliance. I stand here on behalf of 34 strong, vibrant member-elects of LP, believing that this bonding shall attract evenly mutual benefit to us in this 10th Assembly.
But before we get there, we must unite. If we do not unite, they say a house divided against itself cannot stand. With unity, we can accomplish a lot. Harmony, peace, progress, and we can not only empower our constituencies and our constituents, those whom we look up to, but we can ensure that we play our role as a vibrant opposition.
For us to be able to put through our collective interests, for us to be able to protect our ideals as minority parties that fundamentally serves as a check to the ruling party, for us to be able to contribute to nation building, we must come together.
It's not going to be business as usual. The Nigerians there, they want us to make that difference they've all been yearning for. And that is what this 10th Assembly is going to deliver to the people. So let's get ourselves together, irrespective of our differences, and let's pursue one cause. Together, this 10th Assembly is going to make that difference.
The 7 political parties present are the People's Democratic Party, PDP, New Nigerian People's Party, NNPP, Labour Party, LP, All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA, Social Democratic Party, SDP, African Democratic Party, ADP, and the Young People's Party, YPP.
Police in Plateau State have sealed the House of Assembly complex following ongoing speakership crisis. A team of anti-riot policemen arrived at the Assembly complex early morning and barricaded the main entrance. Even though the police command is yet to issue an official statement on the action, Daily Trust learned that it is not unconnected to the brewing crisis among members of the House of Assembly. The House is divided into 2 factions, with one loyal to the current Speaker, Yakubu Sanda, and the other loyal to the reinstated Speaker, Ayuba Abok, who was impeached in October 2021. A court had reinstated Abok on Monday, and on Tuesday he stormed the Assembly to take charge. Plots to truncate democratic transition and impose an interim government in Nigeria continues to receive condemnation, and the latest comes from the group of young Nigerians who kicked against the agenda, urging all aggrieved politicians to seek legal redress if not satisfied with the conduct of the 2023 elections. Noel Sampson has more of the details.
Since the Department of Security Services said it uncovered plots to shuttle the inauguration of the incoming administration on May 29th, and in its stead pleased an interim government, many critical stakeholders, including members of the House of Representatives, have condemned the plot, asking security agencies to arrest the plotter. These young Nigerians are also adding their voices of condemnation and caution, saying there is no need for interim government in the country.
The calling of interim government is violating the right of the citizens that voted in the country and violating the Constitution of the Republic of Nigeria. So the election was done now, then the winner has emerged. So we're all waiting date of to seal them in. So I think those people that are agitating to bring interim government or to cancel the election, they are not doing it for the good of the Nigerians. They are doing this to create problem for Nigeria.
The agitation for interim government, they said, is from enemies of unity, peace, and democracy, and they say should not be given a chance.
We held that election and we have a winner, which is His Excellency Ahmed Bola Tinubu. And it was a credible election. And other elections we've had in the past in Nigeria, whenever we have losers, they go to court and it's left. So why is this different, that the matter has been taken to court and they are already preaching interim government? Of what use it does? It doesn't make sense.
So I don't think there is any need for an interim government. Interim government can only come in when there is crisis or when there is agitation or when there is a protest that will allow other government to come into power. I think that is when interim government will be allowed. They are just being desperate about power. But to me, since ever in the history of Nigeria, this is the best and the credible election we've had so far. So there is no need for interim government in this issue.
Bola Tinubu and Kashim Shettima will be inaugurated as president and vice president when tenure of President Muhammadu Buhari expires on May 29th. 28 state governors will also take oath of office same day. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
President Muhammadu Buhari has inaugurated the National Council on Digital Innovation Entrepreneurship. The council's establishment is based on the Nigeria Startup Act 2022, which was signed into law in December 2022. The NCDIE, which is chaired by the president, has 13 other members, including the vice president, ministers of finance, budget and national planning, trade and investment, communications and digital economy, governor of the central bank, among others. The council is equally charged with the responsibility of promoting the development of the country's digital economy and providing a supportive environment for entrepreneurs to thrive. At the inauguration, President Buhari highlighted the importance of the NCDIE in driving economic growth and job creation, as well as plans to consolidate on the gains recorded in the sector under his administration. The president said he expects that the NCDIE will oversee the implementation of the Nigeria Startup Act, which aims to stimulate the growth of innovative startups and small and medium-sized enterprises in the country. Minister of Works and Housing Babatunde Fashola has said Abuja-Kaduna Road project could not be completed during the lifetime of the Buhari administration because of the delays the project has suffered from. The minister said apart from banditry which chased contractors away from the site, the project is also delayed by the Ajaokuta-Kaduna-Kano gas pipeline project. Fashola said this at the pre-inspection of the completed Loko-Weto Bridge in Nasarawa State on Wednesday. The minister said the Lagos-Ibadan and Zaria-Kano expressways will be completed by April 30th. The minister listed some of the challenges unseen to members of the public, adding that both the road and the pipeline were important, hence decision had to be taken in sequence and order. Fashola commended the military for making it possible for contractors to return to site to continue the job. He, however, said they have made progress from Zaria to Kano, a 137-kilometer road, and by May 15th, the road should be fully completed and open to traffic. Moving on to security, Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello has vowed that perpetrators of recent attacks on communities in Oganeniju ward of Dekina local government area of the state will be apprehended and made to face justice. Governor Bello also said efforts had since been activated to ensure the military, police and other relevant security agencies were immediately mobilized to the affected areas to restore normalcy and fully contain the violence. In a statement issued on Wednesday morning by the Chief Press Secretary to the Deputy Governor, Promise Emmanuel, the governor stated this while addressing journalists after an on-the-spot assessment of the affected communities in Oganeniju. Describing the extrajudicial killings as satanic, Governor Bello reassured of his administration's commitment to hunt down profiteers of crimes while ensuring the security of lives and properties. He added that despite the pockets of crimes, Kogi State under his watch as governor remained unsafe for criminals desperate to plunge it into the era of insecurity in whatever guise, warning that such attempts would be strongly resisted. The federal government has declared Friday 7th and Monday 10th April 2023, which are Good Friday and Easter Monday, to be public holidays to mark this year's Easter celebrations. The Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, made the declaration in a statement signed by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Shoaib Balgore, on Wednesday in Abuja. He urged Christians to emulate the virtues of sacrifice, togetherness, forgiveness, kindness, love, peace, and patience, which are attributes and practices of Jesus Christ as exemplified by his ministry on earth. The minister called on Christians and all Nigerians to use the occasion of this year's Easter celebrations to pray for an end to the security challenges in parts of the country. You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break. How the dead scramble for space in Kano Cemetery. Stay with us.
That's great. Good to see you.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. You're still watching Trust News Update, a recap of our top stories. We heard that scramble for National Assembly leadership position gathers momentum as minority caucus meet. We also told you that police seal Plateau State House of Assembly complex as crisis deepens. Moving on to other stories, the Taraba State Command of the Nigerian Police has confirmed the arrest and detention of a police inspector over an alleged killing of an innocent Nigerian. The trigger-happy police inspector is said to have cut short the life of his victim on Monday in Sabre village of Ardo-Kola local government area of the state. Making the confirmation at the command's headquarters on Tuesday in Jalingo, the police public relations officer, Abdullahi Usman, said the State Commissioner of Police, Yusuf Suleiman, has ordered for the immediate arrest and detention of the inspector. The inspector, who at the time of filing this report is said to have been cooling off in the command's custody, will be arraigned before the court as soon as investigation is completed. Aside from the inspector, policemen at the scene of the incident were also confirmed to have been arrested and detained alongside the culprit.
Yeah, there was an information who was, the command received an information that a police inspector who was on routine duty at the checkpoint around Sabre village outskirts of Jalingo he used his own rifle and then shot down a gentleman who was passing by the checkpoint. Even that one, the Commissioner of Police also called for investigation. As I'm telling you now, at the point of the report, the inspector has been arrested, and his own colleagues that were posted on the checkpoint, they are all arrested and then handed over to CID for also a clinical investigation to unravel why should they use these arms on an innocent soul. Because it says the Inspector General of Police, IGP Alkali Baba Osman, has called it PSC Dag MNI Sebar, have also call it any police officer who wrongfully used his arms on innocent soul shall face the wrath of the law. So to underscore this point, the Commissioner of Police, Taraba State Police Command, could not relent in his effort. He has called for the arrest of the inspector. Presently, investigation is ongoing.
Ndolo Cemetery, located within the precinct of Kano City, is believed to be the largest graveyard in the state. It is, however, becoming depleted as space for burial is rather scarcely available. In this report, Trust TV correspondent Idris Jibrin reports that people struggle to find space to bury the dead.
Located in Gorondusa quarters of Dala local government area of Kano State, Dandolo Cemetery is by extension the oldest burial ground dating back to over 500 years. It is said to be the resting place for many prominent religious, traditional and political leaders of Kano. History has shown that this our graveyard is more than 500 years old. And we have many religious leaders like Sheikh Muhammad Zara and Wali Mai Kalgo, all resting here. Unfortunately, this burial ground is now full as people are being laid to rest in between graves, in most cases on top of other graves. According to the grave diggers here, modern structures surrounding the burial ground could not allow for expansion, and that government is doing little to ensure that the yard is extended. Like you see, the graveyard is full. There is no space. We are only managing to dig in between graves. At times we may come across someone, but sometimes we may not. For some Kano residents, the problem with graveyards in Kano is not only affecting Dandolo, but all over graveyards in Kano have run out of spaces. You see, the problem is that there are buildings everywhere here, which means there is no room for expansion, unless of course if government decides to buy some structures and convert them. Again, that's highly unlikely. Honestly, most of the graveyards in Kano are full. We are just repeating, but there are no more spaces to bury the dead. Go to Goronduse, Tarauni, and in fact all burial grounds in Kano. The story is the same thing. For the moment, many people in Kano have continued to express concern over the lack of burial space across the state and call on government to ensure the extension of these places before it's too late. Idris Jubrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
The Apapa Area Command of the Nigeria Customs Service has seized a large quantity of tramadol tablets in 14 containers of prohibited items such as vegetable oil, footwears, used clothing, and unprocessed wood with a duty-paid value of over 22 billion naira. The command also said it generated over 200 billion naira in 3 months. Trust TV's Abbas Ibrahim now reports.
Comptroller of Apapa Area Command of the Nigerian Customs Service, A.B. Mohammed, said they resolved to enforce government fiscal policies and extant laws and ensure that all import and export consignment transition through Apapa port are duly examined has been yielding results and stretching collaboration and timely sharing of credible intelligence with sister government agencies at the port.
Government make policies to defend the interests of its citizens. No country in this world that does not control the influx of cargo into its country. Here in Nigeria, government is doing its best. Security operatives are doing their best to make sure that we are compliant during the course of our importation. But we still have unpatriotic citizens or foreigners that are hell-bent to import these things despite the laws are clearly spelled out. Therefore, I'm seizing this opportunity to warn any intending importer that if you happen to import any of these items that falls among the import or export prohibition list, obviously, I'm assuring you that our hands are here waiting for you.
He said on Friday, 31st March, the command also uncovered a large quantity of 255 milligrams of tramadol tablet concealed in 2 containers, where 143,800,000 tablets of tramadol weighing 225 milligrams were discovered in 720 cartons weighing 10.3 tons, which originates from India, adding that the single seizure is valued at 21 billion and 600 million naira.
We uncovered and intercepted a large quantity of 225 milligram tramadol tablets concealed in 2x40 foot containers, where 143,800,000 tablets of tramadol 225 milligram was discovered in 720 cartons. This single seizure is valued at 21,600,000,000. We are on the lookout for those behind such unlawful importation, for their arrest, and soon we'll track them down and they will face the full wrath of the law.
Mohammed said the command recorded a total collection of 212,592,680,700 naira and 99 kobo, covering January, March 2023.
It has been a wonderful operation. We have blocked all loopholes, and we are doing our best to maximize generation and collection of revenue within the limits of the extant laws.
Abbas Ibrahim Alibi, Trust TV, Lagos.
And finally, on the foreign scene, the government of Zimbabwe says it will launch investigations into several people involved in gold smuggling and money laundering following the release of an undercover Al Jazeera investigation showing high-ranking officials involved in the illicit gold trade. Gold Mafia, a 4-part series by the Al Jazeera Investigative Unit, shows, among others, one of Zimbabwe's highest-ranking diplomats offering to launder large amounts of money through illegal gold smuggling. Only 2 parts have been released so far, with parts 3 and 4 to be released on April 6th and 13th, but the investigation has led to shocked responses in Zimbabwe. In a statement released on Tuesday, the government said it takes the allegations raised in the documentary seriously and has directed relevant organs to institute investigations into the issues raised therein, noting that any person found to have engaged in acts of corruption, fraud, or any form of crime will face the full wrath of the law. And we'll take sports now. 10 more players have arrived the Super Falcons camp in Antalya, Turkey, ahead of the friendlies against Haiti and New Zealand. In total, there are now 19 players at the team's Sands Deluxe Hotel base in Antalya. Among new arrivals are Barcelona Femeni forward Asisat Oshola, goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie, Atletico Madrid star Rashidat Ajibade, and Leicester City defender Ashley Plumpton. And with that, we've come to the end of Trust News Updates. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. Thanks for watching.